Okay, so we looked at how to stay safe from the inside heel hook in a 50-50 scenario, but now we're going to look at staying safe from other forms of leg locks and also just how to get out of the position when we don't want to be there. Okay, again, this is in a double-seated situation. All right, so we're in this double-seated 50-50. Other than the heel hook, there are four main forms of leg lock that we can get attacked with in this position. Okay, the first one is going to be a knee bar, where just as before with the inside heel hook, we don't want our opponent to climb on top with his legs. Right? If he's able to get if he's able to get this leg here, right, and now he can attack inside heel hooks. He can put this knee to the mat, climb on top, and threaten heel exposure. Right? Alternatively, another very good leg lock for him to look for here is he passes this leg to this side. He compresses the knee down, and now what he's going to want to do is What he's going to want to do is turn his hips into the front of my knee, and that's going to give him a knee bar. All right, this is pretty potent and obviously different than the heel hook. The heel hook would preferably be where his leg is on the top of my hip. All right, what I want to do here is first and foremost, I want to make sure that the hip isn't going directly into my knee. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start turning the knee so it's facing up to the ceiling. I'm going to do that by pulling up here and turning the knee like so. Okay, so there's a slight rotation of my leg inside of his hips. Again, if his hips continue to face directly into the front of my knee, he's 100% going to finish me. All right, so, and if I just try to rotate my leg, you know, I'm not going to have any success. I've got to do something to make it easier, so I start pulling up here, and now I can rotate my leg, like so, okay? Now what you're going to want to do is, essentially now what we've done is we've turned it back into a heel hook situation, where I'm now hiding my heel, right? Now what we can do is we can post here, and now I can take this leg, and I can start pushing and freeing my knee from his knee line, and escaping the position, all right? So again, so I'm here, probably thinking about the heel hook. And now he goes, and he switches things up, and he goes for the knee bar. All right, first thing I gotta recognize is that if he is able to bring his hips into the front of my knee, he's got a knee bar. And this leg compressing down is gonna facilitate that, okay? That's what's gonna lock my leg in place, okay? When I pull up at the knee here, now there's way more play in my knee, all right? I have way more ability to move that knee. Right? So now what I do is I turn it in such a way that we're now in like a heel hook type situation and my heel is hidden. Okay? It does you no good if you turn and you just like leave your heel there for him to catch, right? You gotta be thinking of the heel hook as well. Okay? Throughout these techniques, we're also gonna see, even when we defend these other forms of leg lock, we're always also thinking about the heel hook. Because somebody who's good at this position, or really any ashigarami, is gonna, like, they're gonna attack you with one leg lock, you're gonna defend that. That if you don't also address the heel hook threat, they're going to heel hook you, okay? So we're addressing the heel hook threat as well. All right, now I push here. Now I got to free this leg. And now I can push here to escape, or alternatively, I can build up to my base and pull my leg out like so, right? Both good options. So the next type of leg lock that you could go for is going to be just a standard ankle lock. Take an ankle lock. So with the ankle lock, if he's able to turn this way and go belly down, that's gonna become pretty bad. Yeah. So we don't want that to happen. As soon as he takes an ankle lock on me, what I wanna do is I wanna come forward. It's pretty similar to the heel hook defense we looked at. We're gonna come forward, grasp the elbow. Before we were just grabbing the wrist. Okay, here we're grasping the elbow and the wrist. And I'm gonna extend that leg deep. Okay, now I would recommend pulling and locking up a closed 50-50, okay? We talked about earlier that a closed 50-50 is a more conservative variation of 50-50. There's not as many good offensive options you have. But in this situation here, you're just focused on not getting ankle locked, okay? So it's okay to be conservative for a second because you're in a submission hold, okay? So we come forward, we catch the elbow, we catch the wrist. We pull that forward, we extend our leg. Now here, if he were to try to finish an ankle lock this high on my knee, go to like finish that, yeah, there's obviously nothing there. Yeah, you're just going into my calf, right? Yeah, it's terrible. So you push, and now we lock up our legs, all right? And now, what I like to do here usually, once I've done this, is I like to turn slightly and grab the top of his knee and threaten this inside heel hook. And that usually will cause him to let go of this, and you're, again, in like an open 50-50 situation, okay? So the next type of leg lock that he could look for is a lens lock, or I've also heard people call this like a paper cutter leg lock. Okay, so he goes for, yeah, this lens lock here. We're gonna defend this, yeah, got a tight one? Yeah, this is pretty bad. This is a variation of a toe hold that's very damaging, okay? We're gonna defend this in a way that's fairly similar to the ankle lock. I'm gonna come forward and grasp the wrist, and the elbow, and we want to pull the elbow so it passes over the toes, okay? The damage comes from he drives this elbow into my hips, and that's very, very painful, okay? We've got to get that elbow over our toes, okay? You can't just go elbow alone, because then he can bring the elbow back and nothing gets done. You've got to go wrist and elbow. Now when he goes to do the lock, I can pull and I can extend my leg, okay? Again here, I would probably relock my legs, stay safe for a moment, and then switch to the offense. All right, so again, he goes to that lens lock. If he is able to continue, if he's able to continue to drive this elbow into my hips, he's 100% gonna finish this. All right, so I gotta do is I have to interrupt his ability to do that and get the elbow over my toes. If I just go for the elbow alone, that's not gonna do anything. All right, you've gotta go wrist, so I'm basically pushing the wrist as I pull the elbow, okay? Whenever we push the wrist internally, the elbow will rotate externally. Okay, that's what we're counting on to get out of this lock. So go back to that once more. So we're gonna push the wrist internally, and that's gonna give us a greater ability to pull the elbow externally. That makes the elbow pass over the toes. I can extend the leg and relock my legs, and I'm safe, okay? The last lock we're gonna look at is he goes for an infinity lock, which is something of a hybrid of a heel hook and a knee bar, okay? Yeah, catch the toes more. Yeah, good. Now, you take that around. No, grab your own wrist. Yeah, and now, basically what he's gonna do is, he rotates his hips, and this is like a side knee bar, okay? But it's also, again, kind of like a heel hook knee bar hybrid. What he's gonna wanna do, very lightly, is he's gonna wanna pull there, and he's gonna bridge in, right? When we're defending heel hooks, we're always extending our toes, right? What an infinity lock allows you to do is it allows you to lock the toes back, because you're literally grabbing the toes. So it creates a heel hook style break with a knee bar style finish, okay, where you're bridging it. So catch it again. So he goes underneath, he turns. Now, the first thing we gotta do here is, just as with the knee bar, we're gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up here. Now, this time I'm gonna take my right hand and I go underneath, and I grasp an ankle lock like so. That allows me to pull up. Right? Remember, he wants to be side on to my knee, okay? I want him as much as possible to be, his hips are going into the back of my knee rather than the side, okay? One good way to do that is we start with a pull here, then you punch this in, and now when he goes to go side on, it's hard for him to do because I'm pulling up. And this hand should also be like assisting, okay? Now, I'm here, there still will probably be some pressure, and if I just hang out, he could finish it. So what I start doing is I use this second leg, start interrupting his grips. Yeah, hold tight, hold tight. We're interrupting his grips, probably gonna take one off at a time, and then you can come forward and hand fight the other one, all right? So it starts with, he catches the lock. So it starts with, first, the immediate release of pressure, okay? So I gotta pull up here, and I punch this. Sometimes you can't fit it through, and you'll just have to stay here the whole time, that's fine. But if you can get this through, I find that it's pretty strong, all right? Now here, next thing is I take this leg, and I've gotta strip this grip. Right? You might get both off. You might get both off at once. Both off at once. What's more likely to happen is what just did, right? Realistically, when you push, you're probably just gonna get one off. Now that one's on. Come forward, grip it, hand fight, and then in this situation, I would immediately go back to the knee, okay? Because his knee's almost out of my knee line. So you wanna go back to the knee, pull it back in, okay? And now you start turning to attack, all right? Now, I'll hop over this way. So we've learned how to stay safe from the threat of the inside heel hook. We've learned how to stay safe from the threat of some other forms of leg lock we can see in the 50-50. What do we do if we just want to get out of the position altogether? All right, so just as with before, we're always hiding this heel. And now, one good way we can just get out of here is I can take my foot and put it here, okay? Like so. We start with this hand pushing, and the whole time we're hiding our heel. You never ever want to get lazy with the heel hiding, right? If you're trying to escape like this is terrible because you can still catch your heel at any point, right? So we stay hidden, we push here. Now this foot goes here, right? And now I push, I'm hidden the whole time, and I can get out, right? I can free my knee that way. Now, let's look at that one more time, and then we'll look at one final way we can escape, all right? So we're here, I take this hand, I get a little bit of space. The main thing is gonna be this, where now I can start escaping straight back, freeing my knee from his knee line, all right? one other way we can escape, which is a little more aggressive. It's going to allow us to immediately shift into forms of counter offense. Is going to be, I'm going to take this leg and I'm going to come up. Now once I'm here, yeah, just go flat. Once I'm here, okay, I continue to hide the heel, so I want to keep that heel out of the threat of the heel hook, and I'm holding this knee here, right? This is something that I do all the time at 50-50, right? Now I take this leg and I bring it to the other side of his body, and now I put him in a bottom outside ashi, where I'm going to want to have my shin on the mat. From here, what we can start to do is pressuring guard passes, like so, okay? Alternatively, what I can do is, in this position, I can come up, turn, catch the knee here, and I can threaten inside heel hooks, okay? You can use the threat of both of those attacks to open up the other one, all right? So again, we're here in this bottom 50-50. I want to escape, but in a bit of a more aggressive way, which immediately allows me to start moving into my own counter offense, all right? So I hide this heel like so. I'm gonna come up, and now what I wanna do is pass this leg to the other side, like so. Okay, I can't pass it and then do this, right? He's just gonna outside heel hook me. So when I get here, my foot stays flat on the mat, and I turn the knee out. And I bring my knee into his hip. From here, I can catch the knee, grab the ankle, and the heel hook, or I can bring the shin to the mat, and I can start moving forward into passes, okay? So now you have ways to stay safe against all the different threats of leg locks you're gonna see, and you got two good ways to get out of the position altogether.